Welcome back. My name is Michael Kentenich and I'm a Microsoft Technical Trainer. This is the AZ-400 exam prep video series, and in this second episode we will review how to design and implement a source control strategy. In this group we will revisit how to design and implement branching strategies for the source code, configure and manage repositories. There may be a question from any of these areas on your exam, or there may not be. This is not a comprehensive list, but it can help you focus on what to study. You don't want to spend time studying something that's not going to be tested, so it's good to have a clear idea of what's in and what's out. We're not going to cover all these topics in this episode. Some of them will be briefly reviewed at the end. When evaluating workflow for your team, you must consider your team's culture. You want the workflow to enhance your team's effectiveness and not be a burden that limits productivity. Consider these questions when picking the best Git workflow for your team. Know and be able to distinguish common branch workflows from each other, like the GitHub flow, the trunk-based development, or forking workflow. How can you protect a repository branch so that any commit requires a pull request or a minimum of reviewers? Use branch policies. Familiarize yourself with the way these are set up and how you can tell if a branch is protected by one or not. If you work with a mono repo instead of multi-repos, then you might end up having large repositories. Two main factors often make it difficult to work with large repositories, and that's a long history and large binary files. Know the command for shallow clones for a long history, and that the Git extension large file storage, or LFS, reduces the impact of large files in your repo by downloading relevant versions lazily during checkout, rather than during cloning or fetching. Take also note of the tool Scalar and how it maximizes the performance of Git commands by enabling advanced Git features like background prefetch or multi-pack index. Make sure to try this out yourself to understand the registration part and running of Scalar. Especially for Git, there are several commands you should be familiar with. First, of course, the essentials like git clone, add, commit, push, and so on. Second, know the commands for recovery operations like git cherrypick, restore, or blame. You may also need to delete files from your repository at some point if it grows too large or has unwanted files. You can use Git's own commands like filter repo or filter branch, or other tools like the BFG repo cleaner to remove data from your repos. This can include large files, passwords, credentials, or any other kind of private data. Other skills from the group around configure permissions in the source control repository. Know that by default, members of the project contributors group have permission to contribute to a repository. This includes the ability to create branches, create tags, and manage nodes. Be well versed in creating groups and adding or inviting users to your organizations and projects. And remember that you can configure a more granular set of permissions for each repository in your project. For configure tags to organize the source control repository, know that you can create a release to package software, release notes, and links to binary files for others to use. Releases are deployable software iterations you can package and make available for a wider audience to download and use later. These are based on Git tags, which mark a specific point in your repository's history. These Git tags can be used as build tags and later as release tags to keep track of the full cycle. In this episode, we revisited how to design and implement branching strategies for the source code, configure and manage repositories. With that, we come to the end of episode 2. We hope you will join us for episode 3, design and implement build and release pipelines.